look it up. It's called that.
telling you no. But your burps are telling you yes. Oh, man. Who is
Speaking
that?
of
That's
R. Kelly, he's in
is that R.
prison.
Kelly? Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we are drinking whiskey, so you don't have to, but you probably should. You probably are, and that's why we like you. On this week's episode, we've got a monster of a pour for sure, but we'll get to that a little bit later. In the meantime, hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell us, hey, you guys are great. Hey, you guys stink. Hey, you guys could be great, but you stink. Whatever you want to do, fine by us. But just hit us up. Also, if you want to support the show, hit us up on chillfilter.com/ patreon.com.
I thought you were going for that. Yeah, patreon.com/chillfilter.
No, we are actually doing a lot more for patreon.com than patreon.com does for us. Yeah.
Yes.
chillfilter.com/patreon.
Yes.
Oh, I felt confident in my business. So I should probably end it there.
You should always feel confident in your business.
You're
outstanding in your field.
The only other thing I want to say, like a scarecrow, outstanding in the field, is we still haven't gotten any fun pictures. Yeah, I will say Dramhound did send the cutest little video ever of his daughter
nosing
whiskey, making the whiskey dizzy and then smelling the chocolate notes, which I think is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So anyway,
those videos are accepted as well, and
we love it.
Yeah,
we're not going to play it on the podcast, but
you
know what? It lifted our spirits, so
definitely
appreciate that. So anyway, that's about it, I guess. I don't know, but cool. I mean, how you doing? What's going on with you? I feel like did we record early last week or late? It feels like it's been a while.
It does. I feel like we recorded on Friday last week, so it's only been 6 days.
Oh, so it has not been a while.
Yeah,
but it feels like it. How you doing, bud?
Like it. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a crazy week of work. So one of the things I do is data analysis, and when the data is available, I take advantage of it. But recently at work, it's just been a little bit frustrating that like some of the data on another team's side, they've had a few issues with it. So it's like we're just sitting around waiting for the data to be right or to be authentic.
Come on, team 2.
What's that?
Come on, team 2.
Exactly. And no department names mentioned. But there is another department that has been slacking a little bit, which is okay. Sometimes that happens. But it's just been boring at work lately. So but most of it was figured out today. But there were a few times where it's like, all right, this isn't working. So I gotta wait until I can do my job, which is not bad. Also, it's funny. I'll bring this up because before we started recording, or like probably at the moment we started recording, I had this weird burpy thing in my throat.
It sounded like a burp because I was not watching you.
Yeah, but it's actually like, in a way, it's not a spasm. So I went out to years ago. I went out to figure out what that sound was because it's not a burp. It's like not even an exhale. It's more of just a noise coming through my throat. And I don't burp. That's the thing. We've talked about this, I believe, on prior episodes that I'm
sure we
burp.
have.
Yeah. And so I was talking to a friend recently, and she said that, there's like a thing for that. Like there are effects when you can't burp. And I started looking it up and doing research. I forget it's like CEDR or something like that. There are like, basically, if you can't actually burp, basically what I found out is that my body does not have the muscles to burp. Or at least they're not used, or maybe they're too strong to even allow me to burp.
You go in that direction. Like I may not have them, but mine are likely too strong.
No, but that's the thing is like one of the things they realized in terms of this, syndrome or whatever you want to call it, is that if you inject Botox, it'll into a certain muscle in your esophagus, it will relax that muscle. And then it'll allow you to burp. So I think it is like one muscle is working a little too hard. And And so I realized like there were all these symptoms that came from that. And one was those noises that you can sometimes hear from my throat. And it's like that's the type
Which
of
sounds
sound,
like
but
a
it's not
burp.
like a burpy sound. It's like a
No, it sounds like a burp.
gargle. No, it's like
It's more of like what are those
a growl.
the mud pits at Yellowstone? Like
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
But less bubbly because there's no bubbles with this. It's only like a growl basically.
Oh,
And
so it's like a bog.
yeah, exactly. It's like
just
a
a
bog,
gaseous
like a peat
bog.
bog, like a peat monster bog.
Ooh, foreshadowing. Well done, Mr. Seabald.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, if we can only hit the 5 shadowing level, we'll be
Can't wait till
amazing.
we nail that. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my thing that I realized recently. And so the effects are more than just like weird growly, gargly things. I have a lot of like discomfort when I bend over. Not when I bend over, but when I like scrunch up. It's like hard to breathe. I can't do certain sports at full capacity when I have when my body wants to burp. That's basically what it is. My body really wants to burp, but it won't let it. It's so weird.
But your body.
And so I got to look it up. It's called like
telling you no.
But your burps are telling me yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Who is
Speaking
that?
of
That's
R. Kelly, he's in
Is that
prison.
R. Kelly? Yeah, thank goodness.
It's bump and grind, baby.
Is it?
Yeah. I got cricopharyngeus. Wait, here's what it's called. Cricopharyngeal dysfunction. Look it up. CPD. It's usually diagnosed by an ENT doctor. If anyone's out there and is like, I too can't burp, and I get a lot of discomfort when my body feels like it should burp, but it won't let me. Retrograde cricopharyngeus dysfunction. You're welcome.
Okay.
Someone told me, and I diagnosed myself.
So are you? Shouldn't you just go to an ENT then, and see if you can get some?
No, I actually plan on it. Once I get my next appointment with a primary care doctor, I'll get a referral and see if it's easy for them to do. Because I would love to burp. It would help me out a ton to get those burps out of my body.
So, have you ever, when you've had to burp, just thought about putting your finger down your throat?
Yes, and still doesn't work.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, nothing gets these burps out. I've had I can count on 2 hands probably the times that I've actually let out a burp in my life, and they're usually like.
And so we've talked about this in person. I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast. You cannot burp. Can anyone else in your family just burp like crazy?
That's a great question. I don't think so. Heather can.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah. I didn't want to call Heather out, but Heather can. She can belch. I've heard it.
No, she's got power.
It's impressive.
It's disgusting sometimes, how good it is.
Well, it's funny. So we were driving. I took the girls out today. I'll come back to you. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about me because that's the kind of guy I am. It's not me. No, it's so we went. We were in the car, and I had drank a LaCroix, and it just. I let it go, and Finley goes, "Dad, that's disgusting." Junie goes, "If you got to burp in your shirt." And Amara's like, "If you got to burp in your mouth." And then Amara's like, "Men are so disgusting. They just burp everywhere." So,
how long ago was this?
It was today. It was just this morning.
So funny.
Yeah. So
Women,
you were not a disgusting man, Cole.
Thank you. I'm not one of those disgusting men out there who just burp
out of their mouth and not in their shirt. Yeah. So
certainly not in the shirt.
So besides your dysfunction, anything else going on for you, man?
My birthday's on Saturday. So
okay, so what you got planned, Cole?
Basically just a poker night.
Well, by the time this comes out, happy birthday, man. 31,
right? 32.
32
to the 5th.
So we are 10,
just about 10 years apart. 10 or 9.5, I think. Or no, is it 10.5? Because you're turning.
It'd be 10 because I'm 42, and I turned 42 in January, and you turn
10.5,
32 in July.
Within about a week of 10.5. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So what do you got planned? You do anything?
Just a poker night with some dudes. That's about it. I think Heather has some gifts, which I'm down for. I love gifts. Gifts are great.
What gift are you hoping for?
I'm hoping that the Audi shows up.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Dude, it's still, and I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like I can blame Heather for this. It sounds like it's kind of on the DMV to take care of, but I would really love it to time well with my birthday.
Yeah, you're just ready. The anticipation is built.
Mhm.
It's not building anymore. It's built. It's ready to be.
Oh, it's built. It's been built.
Done with. Yeah.
It done been built.
That's exciting.
Otherwise, in my
Mhm.
life, I am entry buzzing on
Ooh,
some
yeah, what you got?
Sazerac rye, and
Nice.
it's blowing
Okay.
my mind. Blowing my mind right now how good a rye this is.
It, yeah,
I
it is
just
delicious and tasty.
consistently
I haven't
think
seen,
it's
we
an
haven't.
amazing product.
So do you get it? Do you get Sazerac on the shelf in Virginia pretty frequently? Is it like something you can pick up?
No, you gotta get lucky. I do have a backup bottle, and yeah, so you kind of gotta get lucky.
Yeah,
and
same here.
Maybe like half lucky, because if you walk into a store, you're only allowed to buy one allocated product. So if they like ran out of the really good stuff, they'll have a few bottles of Saz.
So Sazerac's an allocated bottle in Virginia?
Yeah, I mean
Wow.
yeah, definitely.
Wow. Wow. Good for
You can
Saz.
really dance.
Wow. You can really dance. And we both went. Okay. Nice. A little Saz. I just have a little Buffalo Trace. I had that bottle and
classics of the of their
genre.
categories. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Robby,
You're cool.
with a mouthful of Sazerac, what's going on with you?
Not much, So today, like
Summer.
yeah.
Do you know that old Vine? Did you ever watch Vines?
Limited because yeah, I did, but it wasn't like
Yeah, I would pretty much only watch compilations of Vines, like kind of the best of the best. And one of my favorites was he used a different word that I'm about to use, but he goes, "It's summer. I got my hat on backward, and it's time to freaking party." And then he like slams his head into the closing garage door. It's amazing.
No.
Look it up.
I don't know
It's
that
summer.
one. I didn't watch enough. No, so the crazy thing is, like, I've been telling people, like, so we've had a couple get-togethers. So we did the 4th of July, had a get-together there, and then just seeing people randomly at, like, we had some gatherings and stuff like that, and like people are like, "How's the summer going?" I'm like, dude, it doesn't even feel like summer at this point. Like, I have not like typically, and this is going to be totally, it's like, as an educator, I am so lucky to have 2 months off with my kids and just be present. But with like we had the Cancun trip. Before the Cancun trip, it was get the whole house like super duper clean.
Yeah.
So the person who's staying at our house to watch moose and
doesn't judge you too hard.
Yeah. And then we did Cancun. And then came back from Cancun, it was COVID. And then after that, it was Plan the Twins' birthday. And then after that,
playing Cole's birthday.
Playing Cole's birthday. Gosh, I'm trying so hard to fly out Virginia and back home every night, just getting this Audi ready. It's been hard.
Yeah.
No. And then it was like 4th of July festivities, and so like I'm kind of like the cook in the family. So like a lot of like that stuff will fall on me. So it's just been busy, like prep for this, plan for that. So it hasn't even felt like summer. Today though, like like our house is just not clean. Things need to be done. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the girls out. We're gonna go for a bike ride. So like we went down to the Greenbelt, took a little bike ride with the girls, and I gotta say it was.
I love the Greenbelt.
The Greenbelt is great, and so we started up on Eagle Road here, and then we went towards the west, which doesn't have. It's not super rivery. It's just asphalted, and the twins both have their bikes with their training wheels on it right now. So it's one of those things where it's like Finley has a tricky time using her brakes, which are like pedal backwards. So that concept's tricky for her. Juniper is way too confident. And then it was one of the like I had one twin way too far to help. One twin with me that wouldn't catch up. Oh. And I was just like, it was a little stressful because I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It was one of those times where I'm like, staggering children would be nice. Twins are awesome because they have playmates. They're awesome playing together. But like something like that was like, if I had Amara the 12-year-old with a like 8-year-old, they're good to go.
Yeah.
And I could just stick with the 5-year-old. But
Mhm.
like 2 5-year-olds, like, you get a little worried.
Let's
You
throw
get a
you
little
off.
worried. So yeah, so
Next time you got to start at like, what is it? Park Center? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Park Center Drive or whatever? What's
that one gets a little hot though. There's not a lot of
Oh, does
shade
it?
down there. Yeah.
Mm,
So we did about 2 miles and they were like,
nice.
I'm so thirsty. It's so hot. And so we came home and
Children.
like I mentioned before, we're cracking down on discipline, like trying to find the
Yeah.
new.
Good for you.
Yeah, and it's been tricky. No, well, I mean, like we've always been. I would
Disciplined
like
daddy.
to think. I like to think of it as parents, we've always been. I don't search that hashtag.
No, it's a Arrested Development illusion.
So my brother-in-law John was like, "Hey, I went to their house on the 4th of July, and there was a bag in the fridge of fried chicken, but on the bag he wrote, 'Don't open dead pigeon.'"
That's so funny.
And like I had no idea what that meant, but I just thought it was funny. Like, okay, don't open it. It's a dead pigeon. Oh, it's fried chicken. So, but I was like, I have not watched Arrested Development
You got to watch it
soon enough to remember stuff. So, yeah.
I
don't know, man.
Show is so perfect. Like,
It is
I don't
good.
think it'll ever be outdone in terms of like best comedy to me, or at least best writing for the first 3 seasons only. Best writing for comedy. Yeah, it's so good.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I might need to go back and watch it again because the first time I watched it, I remember thinking like, "This is just great."
yeah.
But I haven't gone back.
Just stop at end of season 3 and you're good.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I did watch that was awesome?
Oh, did you watch Peaky Blinders? Or Dark? Or that other show, Stranger Things?
Have you started Stranger Things season 4?
Nah, I'm thinking about it.
Have you watched The Bear yet?
No.
I think you'll like The Bear. Do you guys have Hulu?
We do.
Gotta watch The Bear. You need to watch The Bear. It is great writing, semi-dark undertones.
Nice.
It's great. But I did watch Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, and
that's recent, right?
It just came out like on Paramount Plus or something like that.
I've never watched Beavis and Butthead.
Well, you were a babe. You were just a babe when that came out.
Babe.
To me, like that was right when I was like, my parents can't tell me I can't watch MTV.
Yeah.
And I would start watching Beavis and Butthead and stuff. So
The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead.
We always watched The Simpsons. Simpsons came on when my mom and dad were both at work.
Nice.
And I was eating my lean cuisine.
Nice.
There for the week.
Microwave lean cuisine. So let's I think we've done enough of our shooting the breeze. It's getting far into the time. So let's send it to a quick break.
Let's do that. I could use
We'll come on back and we'll talk about Compass Box and Peat Monster and independent bottlers. Here we go to break. And we're back from break. Huge shout out to Sean Ciaro for providing the sample we're drinking today, the Compass Box.
For sure.
The Peat Monster. And so what a baller. Give me a moment, Sean.
Ooh.
What a baller.
I can't find a Glencairn, and I'm trying to hide from the kids, but
does it work
this bad boy did a good job.
Cut crystal, baby. I'm telling you.
Oh,
did I tell you I chipped mine?
Oh, no.
It like broke my heart. Like it ruined my day.
And you know what? At some point, when your house gets taken over by a deadly magical spell, that glass is going to be named Chip. And it's going to have a mother who's a teapot.
Okay. Mrs. Teapot, perchance?
Yeah. And then you'll be the beast.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're going to kidnap someone's daughter.
Wait. Is this the plot of Mermaid movie?
No, it's Beauty and the Beast, man.
Oh, okay. Totally.
Chip.
Totally.
Little teapot.
Anyway, what the Dinklehopper? Anyway. So this is our second episode on Compass Box. Recently, it was actually last 10 episodes, I want to say, we drank the Spice Tree from Compass Box.
Because Robby couldn't find this pour, and it was hidden. And he looked for this pour.
Yep. So we were looking around, and luckily I had enough history to work with to make the Spice Tree work. But now we are drinking the Peat Monster. And so let's talk a little bit about Compass Box and talk about independent bottlers a little more than we did last time. So Compass Box is known as an independent bottler, or in this case, a independent Scotch bottler. They basically are companies that do not distill the whiskey, but they buy casks and bottle them under their own label, usually referencing the original distillery. It's basically sourcing and blending, or potentially sourcing and finishing Scotch. And we had one of our favorite listeners, Miles Ferguson, reach out, and we never got back to him actually on his question he asked on Instagram until now. At least I hope we can get back to him. It's hard to answer this question so far. His question was, what's the difference between an independent Scotch bottler and the larger blenders like Johnny Walker or Dewar's? So I read a great article from Drink Hacker in 2019. I believe it was October 2019, called "What's the Deal with Independent Bottlers?" Yeah, Drink Hacker is actually really good.
What's the deal with independent bottlers?
So it reminds me of the time where Kramer on Seinfeld does his own like little stand up in front of like no one, and he's got like a spoon in his hand, like a mug. He's like, "So what's the deal with politics?" And he laughs to himself. He's like, "I don't get it." It's so good.
That's applicable because I don't either.
It's such a good scene where like he like goes through his whole day, what he does, and most of the time he's in Jerry's apartment doing like crazy things, like having guests over and stuff. Anyway, so I thought that was so funny. Where did I leave off? Yeah, what's the deal with independent bottlers? And I wanted to answer this question and another question I had, which is what's the difference between sourcing whiskey that we usually see in the U.S. and what independent bottlers in Scotland do? Because it's weird that they're pretty similar, but independent bottlers have a much better reputation than NDPs in the U.S., in my opinion. So a few things to note. One great point that the article I read had was that most of the time, independent bottlers are very open about where they're grabbing their juice from. Not always the case in U.S. brands such as Michter's, Bullet,
Michter's,
Michter's even, and others. And they also made a really great point that most brands are going for consistency. Most brands in general, whether sourced or not, they use large batches to offer a consistent product. But independent bottlers are more about inconsistency. They made a great point in the article. They are going for abnormal, whether in age or in finish. They often they're not 100% into like smaller batches. And there are outliers, of course, that are more into large batches, like the product we're drinking today. Though it hasn't always been consistent in their their blend. But we'll get into that in a bit. But that's definitely what most independent bottlers want, like Gordon MacPhail and what is it? I forget. Singleton? I forget. Now I'm mixing Signatory
I don't even know.
and Singleton. And I believe it's
Singleton.
I forget.
10.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's definitely what most independent bottlers want, a very different product than what the original distillery might have had in mind. That being said, more research will help me tell the difference between a company such as Compass Box and Johnny Walker, because I would argue that Compass Box is going for consistency and potentially large batches in their products. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about Compass Box. Being an independent bottler, they do a few options in the blending world. One we did recently was Spice Tree, which incorporates about 9.3 of the Balminic distillery, a single malt from them, and 16.9%. What the crap did I write here? Oh, yeah, here it is. And 16.9% of... I forgot what it was. I guess I didn't write it in. But you can listen to that episode. Just get over it. But while incorporating their own proprietary blends for the rest of the blended malts. Yeah. Another blended malt they have is called Orchard House, which has single malts from Cole Ila, Clynelish, Benrinnes and Linkwood distilleries, as well as a distillery near the town of Aberlour, which is really interesting. Maybe it was the Aberlour distillery. I don't know. They also have a few others in their malt range, but one that is not in the malt range, which I've heard a lot about but never had, is called Hedonism. And we talked about this on the last one, but it's a blend of single grain whiskeys from 4 different distilleries. It's their signature whiskey. They say that that it was originally sold when the company was starting, just around the year 2000, and they were just making some money with that one. Anyway, what we're drinking today is from their malt collection, Compass Box, the Spice Tree. Now, keep in mind, there is a pre-2019 Peat Monster and a post-2019 Peat Monster. In 2019, Compass Box said they changed their recipe slightly to incorporate more aged and more elegant Islas. And I'm assuming we're drinking post-2019
It's
Peat
an
Monster.
elephant, Mr. Frodo.
Did I say the Spice Tree? I meant the Peat Monster, though. Right,
You
like
did.
just a moment ago, I said the Spice Tree, but I meant the Peat Monster.
But the way you said elegant made me think of it's an elephant, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah,
Just like
Yeah.
very Lord of the Rings-ish.
and what about second breakfast, Mr. Frodo? Anyway, it's
I think he
about
knows about second breakfast.
Yeah,
And those are the tooks.
those hobbits. About 64% Colila single malts, and Colila is a Isla distillery. 35% Lafroig, which most people would know is a Isla distillery, and then about 1% of their own Highland malt blend, which they blended from other distilleries in the Highland region, but they don't tell which ones they are, because I guess you got to keep it special to have some sort of proprietary thing. So anyway, 46% alcohol by volume, non-chill filtered. Hey,
That's
not the name
not.
of the podcast.
Yeah.
So, and no color added, as it should be, in my opinion. Why add color when it won't affect the flavor?
Remind me of that, because I'm going to come back to that.
Well, that it has no color? Yeah, it is very light. We'll get to that.
That was one of my problems. I was looking for it on the shelf, and it looked like one of my little mini urine bottles that I keep.
Yeah, when you drink a lot of water.
There's nothing in there. Yeah, it's very light.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Isla distilleries. Like even Ardbeg is a pretty light whiskey. Usually, Isla distilleries aren't getting crazy with like the like sherry finishes and such like that. Even though they do sometimes. Usually, you'll get like ex-bourbon barrels that they're aging in, which might not impart as much as like a sherry cask. But anyway, no word on how long it was aged. But it's at least 3 years, which is the Scotch standard minimum. Total wine price $65, I believe. So now it is time to pour this. Did you get a long, tall sample bottle from Sean?
No, I got a regular.
Okay, cool.
Got a regular sample bottle.
Cheers,
Amazon.
Sean. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much, Sean.
Ooh, I love the smell already. I love a good Isla. Or a blended peat monster or peated Scotch.
I love most whiskeys.
Scotchy. Ooh, wow. Like sweet yet potent nose on the smoke.
So
reminds me of Ardbeg. Go ahead.
And that's the thing is like you're gonna be able to like call back to all the other things. To me, I get earthy, I get just peat, like a mild peat, like it's not super smoky.
Yeah, it's not blowing your mind or blowing your face off.
Yeah, no, it's not. You're not. I was trying to make a backdraft. Who's the main guy in the backdraft?
I don't know what backdraft is.
Gosh, you don't know what backdraft is?
Is it a fart?
No, it's the movie based out of, I want to say Boston, maybe, and there's a bunch of firefighters. Anyway,
does it involve what's his name? Ben Affleck?
Who was
my boy's wicked smart.
You like dim apples? There's no apples in this.
Okay.
You talk a little bit more because now I gotta look. It's
does it involve Casey Affleck?
It does not involve any Affleck. It's pre-Affleck.
Does it involve Matt Damon?
It's pre-Damon.
Okay. So yeah,
Kurt
other notes
Russell.
I'm getting.
There's no Kurt Russell involved
Like
because
Roundhouse.
there's no amount
Are you
of
talking about
smoke in it.
Roundhouse, not Backdraft?
Roundhouse? What's Roundhouse?
Isn't that it's like a bad boy movie? You know, like he's like this bad boy like at the bar or something. I haven't seen the movie, but that's all I can guess about the movie.
Roundhouse?
Yeah, look it up.
Roundhouse. You're talking about Roadhouse?
Maybe it's Roadhouse. Yeah.
With Patrick
I just figured he was
Swayze?
roundhouse
you're talking
kicking
about
people in the
Roadhouse.
face.
All right, so
No.
listen up, listeners. There's no Kurt Russell involved in this because there's no backdraft, because there's not a ton of smoke. More importantly, there's no roundhouses because this is not Roadhouse. So there's no Patrick Swayze in this.
Was it Swayze? Oh, I totally blew it. Kurt Russell and Swayze can be mixed up. You know what I'm saying?
Kurt Russell. What was Overboard with
what's her name?
Meg Ryan.
Was it Meg Ryan?
It was Meg Ryan, wasn't it?
No, it was what's her name?
She was on Wildcats. Clear a path for Coach McGrath. Oh, geez.
Isn't she like dead now or something?
Oh, I don't know, man. Did the Peat
Someone's
Monster
like Bryce Marita is like, it's this woman.
Oh man.
Someone's out there who's like, it's this girl. But anyway, back to the whiskey.
She's dead because a Peat Monster got her, bringing it all back.
Bring it all round full circle. Roundhouse full circle.
Goldie Hawn.
That's I was thinking of like fawn. Fawn was the word I was going for. I'm like fawn. Oh, fawn. It's not Fawn. No one's named Fawn. I was thinking of Fawn Weaver. But yeah, Goldie Fawn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of Goldie, this is a nice light golden color.
Very light. Very
super
light.
light.
For those looking on YouTube. So
all
anyway,
right, so again,
a nice sweetness to it though. I'll admit
have you even sipped this?
Not yet, no.
So yeah, super light peat, nice sweetness on the nose for sure. Yeah, no, it's really pleasant. It's really delicate for sure on the nose. I'm gonna go for a sip here. Cole's making a good face.
So this is when you're looking for a complex whiskey, this is it. And for $65, holy cow. It's hard to find a really complex Scotch in that realm. This is multiple layers. You get like 3 full layers of whiskey here. The first is a nice sweet and peat. Then it turns into like a nice denseness. The peat kind of fades away and you get a brown sugary a little bit. And then it just like finishes like almost like you get some spices with it. Like potentially like nutmeg a little bit I'm getting. But really it just fades into sweetness, like epic sweet throughout, which I love. And
I agree.
Lefroy is not known for its sweetness, but Caol Ila can be. So I think Caol Ila is leading the way on this one. So
I'm mostly with you. Like this is a really nice sweetness throughout. A lot of like pear. Like
I can get that
pear
in the
beginning. But I don't get the peat in the beginning. I'm mostly getting just like that pear sweetness, and then all of a sudden I get peaty, smoky, and then it fades. But this is you jealous, Cole? I just burped.
Yeah, I am.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to make fun of your dysfunction. No, so it's very like pear forward, sweet throughout. Then like that not mouthfeel, the like back into the palate there, it turns very peaty, smoky, and then it's just it kind of slows down. It's just like the sweetness. I still have like a very I wish I could pinpoint the sweetness I'm getting because it's not super distinct to me, but it's not just like sweet forward, but it just lingering on the back end there. I don't know. It's really good.
There's also nothing about this that is too earthy to me in the campfiriness of it. It is guided along on a flying carpet called sweetness. It is. I mean, there's nothing that's like this is too campfirey or too
Yeah.
oaky
No, it's
or
not.
too woody. It is really. I mean, it's guided by the sweetness like throughout. So
on the nose, I got a slight earthy note, but I'm not getting it on the palate at all, which I would prefer to get it on the nose and not on the palate. But yeah, it's super sweet, and it's showing me a whole new world on this carpet of guided sweetness. No, I'm liking this. It's really good. I think this is a good, like, I'm excited to see what ice does with this, to be honest, because I feel like it's gonna kind of hit like some super fruity, florally, maybe potentially. But also this would be like it says Peat Monster, but I'm like,
it's
I was expecting
crazy.
worse
than like Supernova, you know.
Yeah, no, I think this this Peat Monster is more like I'm trying to think of like a horror movie where
it's
more like this is like Jaws. Right?
Where it's just
Jaws,
a tame animal.
Because Jaws, you're like, so like Jaws wise, you're like, it's gonna get us. And there's a big
and you're
shark
gonna need
out
a
there.
bigger boat.
But you never quite see Jaws, and then all of a sudden it's like
yeah.
So but that's not like even it doesn't hit that either. Like, I don't know, this isn't super monstery.
Yeah. You know, when I think of monstery, I think of like, Ardbeg Supernova, where it's like the main notes you're getting are like tobacco and saltiness that like is just it's a bite of peat as well as the alcohol. Like you're getting just the peat is biting into you. This is very I mean, it's peaty, but it's like it is guided by the sweetness throughout. Yeah. It is definitely not salty. It's definitely not tobacco-y too much. Maybe a little bit, but like in a very pleasant cigar-y way.
Yeah, no, this is so water-wise on the nose, I definitely got more floral. A little bit of like that sweetness is there, but got a little more floral, a little less earthy. Drinking it, I got a little more of that spice. So like on neat-wise, I didn't quite get like that spicy nutmeggy kind of thing you were talking about. I get a little bit with the water, more with the water. A little more burn.
Yeah.
With the water.
And a little more bite of the peat, in my opinion.
Yes. So exactly that the peatiness showed up stronger with the water.
Much stronger.
Didn't but it was like it was a nice curve to it, right? Like it wasn't there. And here we go.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the peat was. So I know this is pretty stinking delicious.
Yeah, it's like it's on my tongue, the peat. And I don't enjoy it more, even though I do love good peat. As I've said, like Ardbeg Supernova is one of my favorite peated scotches, let alone scotches. But this is not. It's funny, like it's almost bitter in the flavor of it and the palate of it.
You're talking water wise then, or overall? So I got a little bit of bitterness. My secondness, like not quite there, but a little bit on my second sip neat. Ice or with water, I did not get any. So, bus driver,
drop that cue. Fire in the hole.
I messed this up.
How'd you mess it up?
I'm not getting good bites on the ice.
A constant struggle.
Constant struggle.
Nose with ice, it's more tame. Surprisingly, with water, it got, like you said, more vapory and potentially a little more peaty. With ice, it kind of tamed it down a lot for me, at least for me.
All right, take another sniff. I get a little like orange peel. Do you get anything close to that?
I notice that. I wouldn't have called it out probably ever, but like,
or maybe it's just like a really strong pear. Like
there's a citrusy note, but it's very faint in my opinion.
Okay. My first sniff, I was definitely getting something more like citrusy, like a darker, like a blood orange almost.
Yeah. I do still get a little bit of pears for sure.
There's a fruitiness there for sure. Like I will say this is What was the bottle price MSRP?
About 65.
Okay. I like this.
Not
I feel
bad.
like this is something that you can just kind of get, like, if you're mildly into bourbons or you're into bourbons, mildly into scotches, like this can be like,
Yeah.
you know what, maybe I can get into scotches. Then this
Yeah.
it's
This is a starter Scotch for sure, especially
perfect.
on the
Yeah.
smoky side.
Now, that being said, I am disappointed in the name. Like,
Oh yeah.
for a whiskey or a scotch that's called Peat Monster,
Yeah.
is this what you
You'd expect a
expected?
little more peat. Yeah. No,
I'd
this is
expect a little more. I'd expect a whole lot more peat. Like, there's
Lefroy
peat
10 has
there.
tons more peat than this does.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can get like, you can go to Costco and get the Kirkland brand. You can go to Trader Joe's and get the Trader Joe's brand scotch, and you're going to get 20 times more peat on it than you're going to get with this. This is not a peat monster.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Especially neat.
You ever see what is it? Damon Wayans.
Love Damon Wayans.
He was the
Major Pain.
Major Pain. There's a monster in my closet. Pa, 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 pa. If he's in there, if he's still alive, he ain't happy. Like, this is the monster in your kid's closet where they're like, I'm scared of the monster in the closet. Like,
You're
it's
like,
nothing.
That's what you're scared of.
Yeah, this is nothing, right? Like, this is no, this is an entry level peated scotch for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go for a sip on the ice.
Go for it. Yeah, the ice is still sweet, not better. A tiny bit of bitterness comes out, and it's not guided along by sweet throughout. It's not better. I much prefer this neat, and I feel like that was a good choice of theirs to go 92 proof.
I'm not getting the bitter. Got a little towards the bitter on the neat. This I'm not with ice. Still nice and sweet, mild peat. Give me something good to eat, right? Like, it's not. No,
if you don't, I don't care.
I don't care. Cole will show you his newfound adolescent hiney hair.
Yep, hiney hair. where the rear entry buzz is gonna happen.
There you go. Full circle.
Full roundhouse circle.
Roundhouse.
So I have a rating in mind.
Roundhouse, Patrick Swayze's greatest film.
Yeah.
We're getting it right?
Yeah. Nailing it. This is talk about accuracies.
So, okay, it took me a second, but this is like Howie Mandel. This is the monster that he is under your bed.
Yeah. Could you imagine Howie Mandel hiding under your bed with those circular glasses?
Have you ever seen the movie Little Monsters?
Was he in that?
Yeah, Howie Mandel was the monster.
Oh, really? No, I've never seen it. When was it made?
94.
So he actually had a career before he was like Deal or No Deal guy?
Oh, yeah. Did you ever see Bobby's World?
No. It's been a while.
And yeah, Howie Mandel
Bobby's World, the cartoon, or is it a movie? I remember Bobby's World. Was he the voice of Bobby?
He was Bobby.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he was Bobby's voice.
All I remember was, what was the mom was like super Midwestern. And she'd be like, for
don't
Pete's
you
sake,
know,
Bobby? Oh, don't you know, Bobby?
I gotta go get my Sazerac. Oh yeah, and drink some Angostura bitters neat in a shot glass. Yeah,
that's what she said, Joe. That's funny. I didn't know that was Howie Mandel.
Gonna drink my old fashioned. What's Wisconsin do? Old fashioned.
They do old fashions with what is it called? Corbel brandy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was Howie Mandel.
That's funny. I had no idea.
Cool.
I had no idea. Like it's like Simon Cowell. It's like, did he have anything before? And apparently he was a really good producer before American Idol.
Well, what did he produce? Now I got to go look.
That's a great question. Yeah, and it's like Paula Abdul. It's like, did she write any? Did she have any other good songs besides that one? Straight Up Now Tell Me.
Dance with. Do you really want to love Peat Monster forever?
Yeah. At full circle. Full roundhouse Patrick Swayze circle.
Patrick Swayze. Anyway. Are you going back to your entry, Buzz?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually realized I do not like the ice pour much at all after a little bit of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it were
So-
neat and I had any left in this bottle, I'd be drinking it neat more. But yeah, I'm going back to a secondary entry Buzz, which is actually the very old Saint Nick we drank last week. So
Okay. Sitting on the desk.
yep. Had a
You want me to
little
go
ounce
first?
or
You got
so.
a rating? I
Yeah.
can go first.
No, I'm gonna just based on the neat pour, I'm gonna give this a 9.1. Very impressed.
Okay.
I love the complexity of it. I love that I get hit with 3 different like moments of whiskey here, and the sweetness is delicious. The peat is delicious. I love it. 9.1.
Okay. I'm going a little lower than you, but I really like this pour. I like this a lot. I'm gonna go 8.8.
Okay.
I think it's not what I want out of a Scotch, but that's me being picky. This
Yeah.
is just it's good. It's fun. It's good. I think it's a great entry Scotch. Someone who's like just getting into whiskeys. I think here in the States, you get a lot of people who like bourbons a lot, and they would just want like sweet, and they want the apple, and they want the vanilla. But this, I'm like, okay, let's just shift it a little bit, and here it's still sweetened, but it's like nice and smoky a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I know 8.8. I like this a lot.
Nice.
If I was able to get this on the shelf, I'd grab a bottle just because it's pretty versatile. Like a little bit of water was good. I thought ice was good. Cold didn't, but I did. No, man. This is good. I like it. 8.8.
8.8, 9.1. Average of 8.95.
I don't know. You're the math man.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's 8.95.
Okay.
So let's send it over to our next segment of the show that we call Whiskey World News.
And we're back. Part of the show we like to call Whiskey World News. We read an article. We talk about it. We didn't write it. We're just talking about it. And this one comes from the Insider Business News and More, written by Travis Clark, titled Disney Cruise's new Star Wars themed cocktail cost $5,000 and includes shots of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. All right. Bourbon. Star Wars themed cocktail on Disney's new cruise ship, the Disney Wish, costs around $5,000.
Yeah.
The cost isn't just for the drink, which is called the Kyber Crystal and is served in the ship's hyperspace lounge. It includes the shot glasses it's served in.
Nice.
Oh, well, that's worth $5,000 right there.
The cut crystal, yeah.
Room amenities. Well, now you got me.
Ooh.
And a trip to Skywalker Vineyards at Skywalker Ranch, according to the theme park's traveler writer Arthur Levine.
Oh, wow.
Below is look at the container. The glasses come in from the journalist Ashley Carter, who covers the theme parks for Spectrum News 13 Orlando. And you could like search the article, click on the link, and you'll see it. This is different than Disney's new Star Wars Hotel Galactic Star Cruiser that launched earlier this year, but that's also the pricey side. It costs over $4,800 for 2 guests in the cabin.
Wow.
Levine reported details on Friday in his About Themes Park newsletter on what's in the Disney Wish's exorbitantly expensive Kyber Crystal drink. The Kyber Crystal includes Casma's Cognac, Grand Marnier Quintessence, the yuzu fruit, citrus fruits, and kumquat shots of Pappy Van Winkle's kumquat. Stop. Period. Then shots of Pappy Van Winkle's Family Reserve 23-year bourbon and Taylor's Flatgate
23-year
Kingsman Edition Tawny Port that are included in the container, according to Levine. The Family Reserve is listed on Van Winkle's website for $300. The Kentucky-based distillery is such in high demand that some retailers sell its bottles of various whiskeys for higher than the recommended price. Some sell it for higher than recommended price.
Most do.
Yeah, the Disney Wish will set sail for the first time on July 14th. So, cool. Any thoughts?
I have multiple thoughts on this one.
Let's hear them, buddy.
When I was working at the bar, and this was mid whiskey boom, in my opinion, this was 2016, 2017, and all that. We would charge for ounce and a half of Pappy 23, we would charge $350 a shot. And so if it sounds like there's like 2 shots of Pappy Van Winkle 23, that's like, and nowadays it's much more expensive to typically get Pappy 23. So like, even if it were that day, like $700 for like 1 or 2 shots, that's a big deal. But like, why are you mixing? Like, I'm not the biggest person to say like Pappy Van Winkle's the best bourbon you're ever going to drink in your life. Not going to say that. But what I am going to say is it is a 23-year weeded bourbon that is actually a lot better than people claim it is. And like the snobs that are like, it's not that good. No, it is actually fantastic. It is so much less oaked than I thought it would be. And it's fantastic. It's amazing. But why would you mix that? And like, I get it. You're mixing it with nice quality ingredients.
I gotta say, I don't know if it's mixed. It says
it's just like a shot or 2 of it on the side.
I think you get in the so it says the Kyber crystal includes Casmas cognac, Grand Marnier quintessence, the yuzu citrus fruits, and kumquat. Period. Shots of Pappy Van Winkle's a family reserve 23-year bourbon Flagate are also included in the container.
Interesting. So if it's
it might be included.
I want to say they're all together because it
they
says
had
the
me in the first
cocktail
half thinking
involves
they were on the side.
No,
So
maybe
it does.
But either way, if it is mixed, shame on you for a 23-year bourbon to begin with. Don't mix that stuff, even with kumquats. But if it's not, maybe that'd be special. That'd be something special. But what was it? Also mentioned like you get a trip to the vineyard or something like that.
Yeah. So it says.
So that's where it's throwing me off.
There's a lot going on here where I'm like, this feels like a better deal than I think I would get. Right.
Yeah.
It says some hyper-sweet now includes shot glasses, room amenities, and a trip to the Skywalker Vineyards.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this isn't about the bourbon.
It's not, but you get the bourbon.
It's about your trip,
with some kumquat juice.
I wonder what a room in like a week stay room in that cruise would cost. Compared to the cocktail or whatever.
So that's the thing that gets me. Like this article is kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Where it says
get it together, insider.
So like 5,000 for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
How long's the cruise? If I get a week in the cruise with my wife for $5,000 and it's a nice room, and then on top of it, I get a trip to a vineyard, and like this fancy cocktail, and then just
Star Wars
Pappy on the side.
Yeah.
No. Maybe it's worth it, but
I
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't know either.
To be honest,
mm-hmm.
I'm ready for any amount of time away from my children right now. Like I just need some time, and I would pay this.
And
I'd pay $5,000 for a week away in like the butthole of the world in Chester, Virginia.
Yeah, the worst place in the world. The place you would trade any vacation for. To skip going to Chester, Virginia.
No, I would love to take my family to Chester, Cole.
Yeah, I would love for you to take your family to Chester.
But
I'd also love to come to Boise because I love Boise.
Are you thinking about it?
Maybe not this summer, but we'll make it happen. It doesn't even have to be summer.
We'll get together.
Maybe we'll do another New Year's celebration.
I think more likely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be cool?
Yeah,
we can get. Because flights to Vegas, you can find deals for. I'm thinking you and Heather, Chelsea and I meet up in Vegas.
Vegas?
You don't want to do Vegas again?
Maybe we'll meet in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and we'll meet up with Caleb Olson and our other Wisconsin listeners as well.
We'd have Ben Klebsig for sure.
Yeah, and Nathan Anthony for sure.
Yeah. Where's Nathan? I thought Nathan Anthony was in Philadelphia.
Who's in Philadelphia? He's near Milwaukee.
Sean Ciara's
in Philly area.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want to do Vegas? Do a couple trips to Vegas?
I haven't told you this, Robby, but I kind of hated the city. I liked the food. It was just a lot going on. I didn't hate it. Let me back that up. I really didn't actually hate it, but I was like overwhelmed in a bad way about Vegas.
Really?
But yeah, but the food was great. I felt like that was the greatest part about Vegas was like you had a million options.
So many. The city is a little gross. It's a little.
What was that street we went on? Fremont or whatever?
Fremont is weird now. Like it was really weird. Like even my brother-in-law John and I talked about it. We're like because we're planning another Vegas trip. And we're like, do we really want to go to Fremont? Like because so Fremont Street is actually like in Vegas proper, like Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney city boundaries. And it's just
next time we go, we should go to Nevada. What is it called? The one that makes Smoke Wagon. The Nevada something.
So
I don't know. But I would go again for sure if you were there. But I probably wouldn't go on my own. I'll tell you that.
I would never just go to Vegas by myself.
That's good.
No, we gotta do it. We should try it. I think that'd be good because you can get cheaper flights to Vegas. Vegas like kind of like makes that happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about Vegas is like you can get.
It would be fun to do.
Cheap flights. Yeah,
a couple trip, hang out.
Yeah, no, that'd
eat,
be fun.
Drink.
We'll get some babysitters for the week.
We'll
that's another thing. We'd see some shows.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Is it time for the next segment?
We like to call what we could choose. So do you have the results from last week as I slowly talk?
No, I got them right here.
Last
so
week.
What whiskey? Last week we asked what whiskey you're drinking for the 4th. Cole went with the Eagle Rare. I went with Buffalo Trace.
I won.
Like Buffalo Trace was ahead for a while.
Oh, really?
It was.
Nice.
And then it fell quickly behind. So Cole won 65% to 35%, which was a big win.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Just a couple write-ins. Everybody's, setting off fireworks, trying not to blow off any limbs. And
break skulls.
Ben Klepsig, Mad Town Marketer said he drank J. Henry Cognac finish.
What a baller. Foreshadowing.
Kilcoman Mackerbe Alberta Premium Cask Strength.
Nice.
Miles Ferguson was Wild Turkey Rare Breed, the true bird of America.
Nice.
And honestly, like
it's hard to beat.
I think the turkey should could you imagine like the trajectory America would have taken if the turkey was the bird?
Probably the trajectory we're on right now.
Okay. And then our good friend Dramhound, he's just drinking the Wilderness Trail F Cancer bottle in Elijah Craig barrel proof pick by
I would like to give a baller shout out to Dramhound's mom for
absolutely
going into remission with cancer. Robby.
Yes.
Do you have? I hope this isn't a weird question.
Do I have cancer? I hope not. What?
Did your mom ever have cancer?
Yeah, no. She's had it a couple of times. So my dad and my mom both had cancer, and when I was a junior in college, my mom was first diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's been in remission ever since. And so that was like,
and my mom as well. So shout out to all three of us and Dramhound. What a baller! And your mom's the biggest baller, and our moms are the biggest ballers. So shout out to the women who are stronger than us.
You know what? And on top of that, anyone who is going through that sort of thing, like, man,
totally, you're stronger than us.
F cancer.
Yeah, seriously,
sucks. So
I was just happy to see that with Dramhound, that like it was such a victory, and so shout out to him, shout out to his mom.
It made me pretty emotional because I was just thinking of how hard it is. Yeah, it's just hard to go through.
And the only time where it's okay to say shout out to your mom.
You can shout your mom out whenever you want.
Yeah,
shout out your mama.
Shout out your mama. Is that that's a
Motley Crue shout out?
I was thinking, Motley Crue makes more sense.
But your mom's not the devil. Gosh, I messed it up.
Van Halen or something, but I guess it's not Van Halen. Yeah.
Anyway, cool. What whiskey would you choose? You got one for us this week.
Okay, so check this out. You go to your average store, your store that you normally hit up, and sadly,
Yeah, it's
there is no
5'7".
allocated stuff on the shelf. And then
Okay.
sadly, it doesn't even have your next favorite pour there.
I'm
What?
crying.
And you don't even have to say what your next favorite pour is. What is your second choice non-allocated whiskey?
Oh
So
man.
so like
just
if you
like
don't have your favorite thing that like if
like
they don't have rare breed or whatever you're looking for when it's not allocated, what are you gonna get otherwise?
so the way I kind of see this is not
Mm-hmm.
in Idaho because we don't have like we're an out a state we're a controlled state. So like you
Yep.
have to go to the liquor store here. What I'm thinking you're kind of getting at is like you go to a random gas station that's in a non-allocated state and they have something there. What are you gonna pick that's not your allocated?
Top choice. Yeah.
So okay, so I was thinking like you have top shelf allocated,
Yep.
you have
Mid shelf. What's your favorite mid shelf offering?
mid shelf. Maybe I miss. Okay, I'm just thinking like random gas station, non-allocated state.
Yeah.
I pull in. I don't want to get Jack Daniels because everywhere has
Totally.
Jack Daniels. I could get that anywhere. I don't want to get Evan Williams because I can get that everywhere.
Yep.
I like Bullet Bourbon.
Nice.
You know, I'll
That's a
go.
good answer.
I'll pick up a bottle of Bullet. Am I gonna love it? No. Is he gonna get the job done? Yes.
Yes.
And then will it probably be there? You betcha. So I'm
Most
gonna go
likely.
Bullet. Yeah. What are you gonna? What are you going for, Cole?
Maker's Mark, baby.
Okay.
I can
Good
drink
choice.
that. The good mid shelf option, not too low shelf, not anything like that. It is just a good solid, and I could drink it throughout the night as opposed to some other bourbons where I'm like, can I drink like 3 ounces of this? Maybe, but like I could always drink 3 ounces of Maker's Mark. So I'm gonna go with Maker's Mark here. Interested to see what our listeners will go for.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out this week on What Whiskey Would You Choose Wednesday.
Perfect. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And
And
all
then
right. So what are we drinking
let's
next
talk
week,
about what
Cole?
we're drinking next week.
So I got some ideas here.
Nice.
What is this one? So foreshadowing
Jay Henry.
reshadowed. We're going
Yeah.
J. Henry straight bourbon, finished in
Armagnac
Armagnac,
finished.
La
Yeah.
Flama Reserve, and that's a big eclectic joint, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, I didn't even look at what whiskey would you choose, and I chose that as one of our next ones.
Yeah.
And the next one here is Old Forester 1920 bourbon, 115 proof.
Nice.
So we'll put those up on Tuesday. Let us know what we
Sounds
should
good.
drink next, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Can't wait to see. I hope
I'm
that
so
our
excited.
listeners will chime in, and I hope they will know what it means to us that they are supporting us. I don't know. Let me back up a second. Dramhound hit us up and he was like, I love you guys. Like, I appreciate you make me laugh out loud all the time. I was like,
I know.
I don't know.
got me
That
in
meant
the
a lot to
feels.
me. So I hope
Yep.
our listeners still enjoying the old chill filtered.
And you know what, Cole? I hope you have a good birthday. But by the time this comes out, I hope you had a good birthday for sure.
And I hope most of all, listeners, that our love of whiskey. Nope, crap, ruined it already. I
Our
hope
love
most
of
of all,
crap.
listeners, that our love of crap lifted your spirits. It's disgusting
impressive.
sometimes, like how good it is.